following your dreams on a budget. So let's go into, because I think we're both in similar situations. We both have part-time jobs. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yours? Because you were posting pretty consistently on TikTok, and then you decided to stop.
Yeah. Okay, so around the time when I was like, posting like, I feel like every day on TikTok and social media, I was in a good spot, like really, really, really privileged spot. I had money saved up, and then my girlfriend, she was helping me out, paying rent. So I feel like for like 6-7 months, I felt like, I was like, dang, I thought I could like just keep doing this, but then funds ran out, and I'm like, no, I need to get a job again. I need to get another part-time job or a full-time job.
Yeah.
And so I started working at this. I don't know if you know this place called Sherwin-Williams. they kind of do some paint or something, right? Yeah. No. But yeah, I started working for them, and I mean, they treat me really well. I get paid like $15 an hour. I'm like, for me, that's a lot.
Right.
Where I live, I feel like it's good because my rent's not super high.
How much would you say of your total like income for the month goes to your rent and expenses?
So like, I want to say, how do I put it? I want to put out numbers.
Just percentages, like 60% of my total monthly income goes to rent.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say like 50% of it.
50%.
And the other 50, it's like I can save up, or just spend a little on like, hey, treat myself out, or treat me and my girlfriend out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because it's like I said, it's a part-time job. I feel like I have time again. Some weeks fluctuates more than others. Sometimes I need to work more. And then it's like, I come home and I'm tired. I'm like,
Yeah, that's one of the problems of having a job and trying to pursue your passions. You can potentially be exhausted, especially depending on your job, more exhausted than you would want to be. Some jobs are just more taxing.
Labor. Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't want to say my job is like, oof, man, this is like a manly, like, labor-intensive job. No,
but you're hauling around paint, so that's.
Oh yeah. But there's days when I come home, like, dude, I still got like 7 hours maybe, and I'm like, that's a lot of time, and I'll like spend at least an hour drawing, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be an hour; it'd be like 30 minutes. Right. But I feel good. Like, it's like, dude, it's like, I don't know. For me, that feels good. Like, I have that privilege to do that now. I know a lot of working class people don't have that. It's like they gotta work 60 plus hours, and they're just tired, and maybe they have kids or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're lucky to not have all those responsibilities just yet, so that's good.
Yeah, but that's my current living situation. For a while, it wasn't like that. So,
there's some similarities to mine. I work doing graphic design usually, and I was very privileged to have found this job in the fintech for about 7 months. And they paid me the most that I have ever been paid, so that was lovely. I'm trying to remember how much an hour it was. I want to say it was 38 an hour. Whoa. I mean, I'm in California, so my cost of living is a lot higher. But it's still very good money. And I saved up a good chunk of money. I had about, I think, just over $20,000 saved up, and that's when I decided to start all of this social stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna take a big long break and pursue this and use that money to do that. And then, I forget how many months it's been now, but obviously I ran out of that money fairly quickly. I think I had I definitely made it last for as long as I could. And I did get this computer over here. Seen it in my YouTube videos.
Flexing.
And that was, the pandemic caused all sorts of problems with getting new computer stuff, but I needed to upgrade, so I ended up getting that. And then right now I'm getting married, so all the money is going into that. And I'm at my girlfriend has had to help me with rent once or twice. I'm at a very different point, and I had to take on a part-time job, which they pay me very well. I actually get paid $45 an hour from them.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is a whole conversation for another time, but I have a very privileged life, and I knew how to negotiate for myself and how to keep moving forward. My mom and dad made sure I knew how to do that for myself, and even my sister is kind of a boss. She's a lawyer, makes big time lawyer money, so she would, they are always giving me advice about how to advocate for myself. And in like a year, I went from working with a YouTuber making $15 an hour to making about $30 an hour at a graphic design food place. And then a year after that, I was making 38. And then a year after that, or 2 years after that, I was making 45. And he said I had the range to go up to 60 at this current place. So you can really step up your game really quickly, jumping from place to place if you know what you're doing and if you can advocate for yourself. But again, it's still part-time. I don't have that many hours, and it cuts into me being able to do all this content creator stuff. There are some days where I literally have to carve out time just to draw and ignore the content creator stuff because I'm like, this takes priority for me. I need to make sure I can draw so that when I do the content creator stuff and we talk about this stuff, I could be like, I'm pursuing art still. I didn't ignore it, and though it's part of me building habits. What were you about to say? Sorry.
No, I was gonna make a joke. I was like, "You poser." No. No.
Yeah, it's hard to make time. I know that I'm privileged enough to, and very grateful for being able to make the money that I do. But even people who do make money now, their time is gone. So it's finding a balance of being able to work on the things that you want to work on so that you can get to that place that you want to get to, which is being professional artist. And you really... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. No, it's like you really do got to analyze what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, we all know we're different. We all spawned in a whole different world. One person's rich, one person's poor. Like, you just gotta, you really have to figure out how to get to that point to, not be comfortable, but, you can make that time to draw.
Right.
And it's hard. It's different from, we can't give you one answer to, one shoe, I don't know what the saying is. A shoe fits all or whatever.
Yeah.
You just can't. But, yeah, I mean, I know people, go to university just to, escape their house, because their house might be the worst place to be at.
Oh, yeah.
And in university, they got free time now, and now they can do the whole art career.
Yeah.
I mean, even, YouTubers, a good chunk of them probably blew up while in university. Because they had the free time.
Yeah. It just boggles my mind when I think about how I'm making the most money that I've ever had in my life, and I am also struggling to maintain everything that I have to pay for.
Oh, I can't hear the audio.
Oh, you lost me?
Wait. Okay, now you're good.
Okay, good.
It was weird, for a second.
Yeah, so I was saying, it just boggles my mind that it's the most I've ever made in my life, but I'm also struggling the most to maintain this lifestyle. And I'm not like living above my means or anything. It's just I'm paying for a lot more stuff right now, like the wedding. My rent is more money than I normally would have. So we're figuring out ways to mitigate costs and everything, and
Yeah.
it's difficult. And everyone, like you said, has their own circumstances, and you sort of have to be grateful for what you have and then figure out how you can leverage your time and resources to get to where you want to go. So
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was kind of. It's true. It's like you get to a point where you make money, and it's like, dang, I'm making a lot. But somehow life always puts it to where like, look, you got all this new stuff now you got to pay off. It's like, wow, I wasn't making anything like a year ago, and now I'm making all of this, and it's disappearing.
Yeah. Well,
money
even
just
as a content creator, I don't think people realize the expenses. Like I haven't even mentioned to you, if you want to get like you have to like sign up for podcast stuff. They're like distribution services essentially, where these sites hold your podcasts, and then places like Apple Music and Spotify, they take it from where it's being stored and then they play it for other people, right? I forget what the actual word is for it. I'm so new to podcast stuff. I don't understand this totally. But you have to pay for that service so that your videos stay there. And that's why I was trying to find like a free option, which I think I did. It's an app called Anchor. And I think it'll get us everywhere. But eventually, once hopefully we start making money from this, we would put it on those legitimate sites so that we have access to them in a better way. But being a content creator comes with if you want to compete and be able to play at the right level you need to play at, like I'm paying for a website, for music, that I can use in my videos, sound effects and all that stuff. My email list, after a certain amount of people, you have to pay monthly, depending on how many people you have in your email list, to even send them emails. So I literally, for like a while, I don't have enough money to pay to send emails to people on my email list. It's like so sad. What else? The Adobe subscription, it's like $600 a year. It's several $1,000s a year just to like get the basics out of the way, and it sucks. Like it's hard. So, and that's just the content creator side. Like there's expenses for art stuff. Like I just bought those 2 courses I mentioned to you, and if you don't have a tablet or your tablet breaks or something, you need that's a couple $100s.
So like for artists, like young artists, who are doing all this on a budget, it's like I feel like softwares like Adobe stuff, or you don't have to get the great stuff yet. There's free stuff in the internet.
No, that's true.
You don't have to break your bank, and maybe you don't even have money.
Also, pirate it. Adobe's services are such a scam. But
you don't have to like break the bank to.
Yeah, to get started, I think that's important. You should just use what you have available. And when
you're on a budget.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about actually things that you, like if you're starting from the lowest point, how you would get up, sort of escape and find your way forward. And obviously I think the first step is just getting out of, like there are people who are going to be in much worse situations where they have no time. Even the amount that they work and the money that they make isn't enough to survive on like the most basic level. Like they have no time. The money that they make is not sufficient to cover them. it sucks. Like there's no getting around that, and the only way to get past that is to get to a point where you can get a job that either pays you well enough that you can sort of live a modest lifestyle and still have some extra money on the side to do the things you need to do, or extra time to do the things you need to do, or finding help from people, I suppose. There are programs, for people who need help. I know my girlfriend my fiance works in nonprofits, and they have a lot of resources available for people. There are like work centers, I think, for minority groups especially. I know we've actually hired people to help clean the garden, and they get paid well. Like the centers advocate for them to get paid. I don't know if you know anything about that.
No, that sounds cool.
Yeah, no, it's for like minority groups, usually Hispanics and stuff. We've had people help her mom, because her mom cleans houses, so people have helped her clean. And again, the center advocates for them, so they get paid well. But yeah, essentially the first step is getting out of whatever situation that you're stuck in, and that's easier said than done. Obviously, I don't want to make light of a difficult situation, because there are so many people in difficult situations, and it's not as easy as just saying, well, I'll just get out of it.
just get good. Like, the next day you'll be out of it,
Yeah. But planning
like,
it may take a while, right? You have to look at what you have available to you and how you can leverage it the best way to move forward. There's really no other option. I wish that there were people out there that would come save you, but the reality is we're not that nice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You need to find a way out of the situation that you're in, either by getting more knowledge. Like I know that sometimes I worked at Banana Republic for a long time when I was younger, and I would sketch in the back when I did a lot of stockroom duty. So I would put clothes away, then I'd make a little sketch, and then I'd go back out, and nobody noticed, right? But that was my tiny thing to do, to show up for myself, to still draw when I had no time. And
it was me at when I worked at McDonald's when I was 16.
Yeah.
Because I was working in back drive-thru. Did the same thing, bro. I brought my little sketchbook. It was this small.
Sometimes it's just about finding the job, right, that you have available time. You can study on the job. Say you're going to school, there are jobs where people are you're a receptionist, right, where you may have 20 minutes here and there to do a little doodle or something, right, or to study a little bit. And not that that's good dedicated time for you to learn, but it's something for you to show up for yourself. At the very least, to research, how to do better or potentially get a better job. But it's just, again, finding leverage so that you have more time to work on things that you want to do. You work on your passion stuff, which for us is being an artist. And then once you find that time, it's about leveraging that time to get the most out of that experience, right? So now you have an hour, finally. It seems like such a small amount, but an hour a day is really it's a good amount of time to get stuff done. So now it becomes, how do I leverage that? And sometimes it takes a little bit of planning. I think you don't want to plan so much. We talked about this before. You don't want to plan so much that it holds you back from actually doing the thing.
Yeah.
But a little bit of planning can go a long way, and knowing what are the best ways to study and learn. doing small things like we mentioned in the last episode that don't burn your stuff out, like making sure you are not taking that hour away from your sleep, because that's not good for you. And making sure you still eat and eat well, get a little bit of a walk in kind of thing. All those things are important.
Yep. I'm kind of blanking right now what to say.
It's okay. And then I think the important part of that state, once you are leveraging your time, is using some of that money that you're making, hopefully putting some aside, because the next step would be to start putting your resources into education. I mean, I suppose you could talk to that, Caesar. Like, how important do you feel that education has been to you in the art side? Are you totally self-taught, or have you taken courses?
As far as like, like concept art, anatomy studies, anything that revolves around like a fundamental. I think that was more me and just a lot of YouTube, because my 4.5 years of fine arts, they didn't teach me any of that.
But you did have some art education. It was just in the fine arts stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean we can talk about this in another video, but because there's obviously that like idea of like, hey, should you just take loans out, go to art school, or
the art school versus courses
debate. Or just do courses.
I'm for courses, but yeah, we could talk about that in another video.
Yeah, but it sucks because it's like if you're not like privileged and it's like, bro, this is all the money I got, like, and you want to invest into like more learning resources to improve your artwork. I don't know, maybe the mentorship is probably better for you than this $50,000 art course.
Yes.
Art school type of thing.
Absolutely. Especially if you have limited resources, right? So the big thing, you have no time or resources. What you need to do is leverage your life to make more time, right? Whether it could mean getting a new job, like finding helpful services, whatever that means for you. You need to make more time in your life so you can actually pursue the things that you need to pursue. And once you can finally do that, then you use that extra time not just to work on your art, but also to hopefully leverage some more money, things that you can actually have as savings towards education, ideally. And then once you can actually afford education, is having temporary mentors, because mentors are really the best way that you can sort of hijack the learning process and go from A to B to C a lot faster than you normally would.
Mentor will tell you, nope, this isn't it. And then they whoop.
Right, exactly.
Right away.
And you can make your own mentors just by studying very completely another artist's work, but there is no substitute for literally a mentor, like you said, drawing on your work or fixing your artwork and being like, this is where you potentially screwed up, or this is how you can improve this, and you seeing that and being like, oh, I get it now. Like, otherwise you have to figure that stuff on your own, so you're just basically like cutting the line and being like, okay, rather than me figuring it out on my own, I just learned it right now. I didn't have to go through 50 drawings to figure that out. I figured it out now because of my mentor. And it's obviously it's a lot more saturated, so it's hard to find a mentor like that. But again, getting a course where you have a dedicated mentor that draws on your stuff, that's really important. And there are classes out there like that. You don't have to go to a big college, spend $50,000, which could be even more than that.
Yeah,
art school is one of the most expensive types of education.
Yeah. Art supplies.
Yeah, that too.
I mean,
but I think that's what we got. We went way over time this time.
oh, okay.
No, it's all good. We get excited telling our own stories and trying to help people, and then there's just a lot to all of this. And if anybody has any questions or you want us to elaborate on anything, please leave it in the comments somewhere. This will be on YouTube too, so you can leave it in comments on YouTube or just let us know, email us, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to read comments.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I think we got a comment from our first video saying that it was really nice. I'll have to read it to you. They said something about how they love stuff like this and they can't wait to listen to it. They hadn't even listened to it yet, and they said nice things. I was like, thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So hopefully this helps anybody who's dealing with this kind of situation. But that is the end of our episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Creative Flow podcast.
Yep. Signing out.
Bye.
Bye.